Join me on this journey as I set off from Santa Tecla, just outside the capital of El Salvador, and join me as I cross the entire country with the end destination of La Union, which is the port city on the El Salvador-Honduras border. As I continue this 3,000 kilometre, now 2-month-long journey south from Mexico to the end of Central America, using any means of transport other than personal, I set off from a few days R&R on the outskirts of the capital city of El Salvador and embarked on a journey that would take me to one of the least visited cities in the entire country. I was heading to La Union. I'm on the bus, so I'm on the move now, heading away from Santa Tecla and on towards La Union. One thing I love about El Salvador is that they have absolutely no concept of the term maximum capacity. The only limit to the number of passengers you can carry is the physical limit of the space in your vehicle. Just off the bus in La Union, so I've arrived in La Union and it was a long drive. So I'm here now, tired, starving, and really need to go to the toilet. So I'm going to sort my needs out and then going to explore this place. So let's do that. La Union, the strategic port city located at the bottom of El Salvador. This is the last city along the south coast. Next up, Honduras. It's one of the least visited cities in El Salvador, yet it's been a part of so much of the country's history. The brutal 12-year civil war, the Honduras immigration crisis, the 1969 football war. La Union played a part in it all. Caffeine. Getting my fix. Feeling better already. I was pretty tired for a while, honestly, but now I'm feeling better. Get my coffee. Let's go. I've just gone into this sort of cafe place in La Union, try and get my fix, which I have actually got. I've got my coffee here, get my caffeine, and I've got 2 pupusas, which are the best comfort food in the world. So they're like just kind of pancakes filled with like cheese, and then got this stuff as well. So I'm about to, this is what a good mood looks like, basically. So I'm going to enjoy it. In 1969, El Salvador and Honduras famously engaged in what would be known as the Football War. It kicked off just after El Salvador and Honduras faced off in a game to see who would qualify for the 1970 World Cup. El Salvador won, and a few days later, all hell broke loose. It turned into a full-scale war. Now, it wasn't just about the football. In fact, the football was the ignition. It was the flame. But there had been a build-up of political issues, predominantly the immigration issue, where 300,000, give or take, El Salvadorians were being evicted from their homes in Honduras following some land reforms. And this meant essentially that the balance of peace was slung right back in a slingshot, and all it took was that little bit of violence around the games of the World Cup to kick things off. And kick off it did. The war only lasted for about 4 days, but almost 3,000 people, mostly civilians, were killed in that time. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because La Union was very much involved in this story, because don't forget, those hundreds of thousands of El Salvadorians were all fleeing Honduras, and wave after wave of them were ending up here in La Union. And you can just imagine the chaos on the streets here. These streets are empty now, but back then, during this crisis, they would have been full of people fleeing Honduras at that time. Just imagine what these streets would have looked like. They would have been full of people and uncertainty and chaos. It's a peaceful place now, but back then, this place would have had some amount of stories, I'm telling you. So, La Union. I'm feeling a lot better after I've had my food. I don't hate the world anymore. And I'm sort of walking around exploring this place, and first thing, you've got a beautiful sea breeze And it just feels so good to just have that nice sea breeze in your hair and in your face. And look at that. That's a view. So that is, I believe, the Pacific Ocean. I'm sure it would be. And that over there is Nicaragua. And that is where I'm going to be going. Across the water. I will say though that so far I'm kind of seeing that it's not as welcoming as other parts. That's for 100% sure. Like nobody's really kind of smiling at you like they do in other parts. So I'll see what that is like. I think here used to be, before all the transformation happened, this place was actually one of the most dangerous places in El Salvador. So maybe that's sort of carried through. Maybe people are a little bit more closed off. I don't know. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Isn't this class? I love being at the ocean. It's been a while since I felt the sea breeze in my face, and I absolutely love it. And it's exciting as well, knowing that I'm going to be crossing over that ocean tomorrow on a boat. So I always love being on a boat ride. This one looks interesting actually, because it isn't like a big official kind of ferry. It's like a literal kind of local boat. Like, so I'm just going to see how it goes. Yeah. Love being here at the ocean. I didn't just come here for fun. I had come to the port of La Union for a reason. I was searching for a man named Captain Mario. On a Reddit post, I discovered that there's a local captain that is known to take travellers across the sea to the shores of Nicaragua aboard his small boat. There was no information online other than an El Salvadorian phone number and the name Captain Mario listed in the Reddit post. I called it and he told me to show up at 6 a.m. the next morning. So I agreed and hoped that I would not be kidnapped. That's it. End of the road in El Salvador. So that is basically the end. El Salvador right there. Obviously I'm not right there because there's a couple hogging up the bridge, so I can't take a photo. So I have to wait for them. But this is it. End of the road. So over the last few weeks I've made it the whole way across El Salvador, right from the start in Santa Ana all the way to La Union. So and this is basically it. So tomorrow then I'm on a boat out of here, leaving El Salvador, crossing that ocean over there. So yeah, what an adventure it's been so far. What an absolute blast. This is without a doubt the best adventure I've ever done out of them all. It just is. Like, they've all been different, but this has just been such a blockbuster from start to finish, and it's still halfway there. I've still got almost 2,000 kilometers left to go, and I've been on the road for over 50 days already. Almost 2 months on the road with my backpack. Crazy, but I'm absolutely loving every second of it. So I'm gonna get some food for tonight, chill out in La Union, wake up sharp tomorrow and get that bus, get that boat at 7 in the morning, across that ocean. It turns out I didn't even need a shower this morning. I'm getting that here on the boat. And that right there is Honduras. Here we are, straight off the boat in Nicaragua. So what a nice way to arrive in a country. Just walking off the side of a boat, feet in the water on a black sand beach. And this all around here is Nicaragua. So that's the first sight of the country.